a couple of things. We need our tumbler tile blocks. We need a string light with some battery operated lights. We need of course our wood glue, our glue gun, some paint at your choice, maybe some furniture wax, just what your choice is. Of course our glue sticks and of course some brushes. And these are a little bit the main parts what we need for this DIY. We are going to try to make a seasonal lantern, and I made a lot of lanterns already and I always love to make them, especially always give them another twist. So I hope you enjoy this also. We are going to start of course with the bottom of our lantern, and it will be very easy. We just take 7 blocks, 5, 6 and 7, and we're just going to make a row out of it. So we take our glue, of course you can use glue from your glue gun, but I use wood glue because then your work is staying a little bit. Now you see already this is it works, it really works, but it doesn't work. I think my top is full with dry glue, so you see this will not stick together. So have a moment. So where did we stay? Of course with our 7 blocks, and I think my glue is also ready for it right now. At least I hope so. So we're going to do a little layer on the side, and we're going to do this on the second one like this, and on the third like this, very thin. We're going to do it on the fourth and the fifth. Of course, oh, he is running so fast right now, so he thinks I'm keeping up the time. So I'm going to make them together like this, very easy. And we close it up with number 7. Make a nice straight line like this, squeeze it lightly, and again make a nice straight line, and again squeeze it. And you see I still need to work with this one. And again I'm taking a little wet old piece of kitchen towel, and I'm going to go over it and wipe away the glue we don't need like this. It makes your works a little bit nicer to see. So again a straight line, and then we're going to let this dry, and we are going to make a second row of 7. Again 2 pieces, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and we make again 6 pieces. We do with some glue, so very easy. On the side, on the longer side, and number 3, and number 4, number 5, and number 6. And now we're going to close them all up like this, and the number 7 is closing everything in. Squeeze lightly, and again make a nice straight line like this, squeeze it again, and look, if your line is straight as can be, we get our little kitchen towel, wipe away. We don't need the glue like this, not too much, and again make a straight line. And that's the great thing about wood glue. I always say it doesn't matter, you always can redo it a little later, and glue from your glue gun, it sticks, and most of the time it's not very sturdy. So I let this dry, and then we're going to glue both of the parts together. So our glue is dried in a little. I'm going to place this one on the side. I'm going to give it a little line of glue, very easy. Just go over all the blocks and like this, and I let it always dry in for now a couple of minutes, because the wood glue normally dries very fast, faster than probably a lot of people think. And again, of course, you have to be careful, and glue it together this way and make a nice sturdy bottom of your lantern. You see already, this is already the bottom. We are going further with the sides. So our bottom is already dried in. We are going to lay it beside. We are going to make the sides, and the sides will be very easy, but we give it a nice twist you can use for any season. So, but you see that later. First we're going to make the base of the sides. Of course we are going to glue this one together. This is already one, like this. We lay it over here. we're going to make a second set of 2 just over here, and we're going to lay again this one also over here, squeeze it, and also a little, and make sure that you have a straight line. We're going to do another one, number 3, of course, and again, and try to look for that the blocks are as even as you can get them. Of course, I know there are different in sizes. I have the same problem with you as you all have, so don't worry about it. We are going to make now number 4, and that will be the last of the one with 2, or at least 2 on this side. So again, squeeze it and press it down. I have to make a straight line, and like this, and I have to wipe it off. And now I have 4 again. I'm going to squeeze it again, squeeze it again, squeeze it again, squeeze it again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get 1 block. I'm going to go for the tops like this, and I'm going to lay it over here. I'm not gluing it yet. I'm going to do 1 over here. I'm going to go for 1 over here and 1 over here like this. And now I'm going to glue 1 on the ending, like here, this way. I'm going to do 1 this way, and I'm going to do not in the middle but a little off the line, and here the same, and this way. What I'm going to do, you see already, I'm going to lay this one on the side, and I'm going to do a drop over here, a drop over here, and if I correctly, 1 over here, and you can measure out very easy where you need to place the drop. Lay it down, of course, this way, and again squeeze them together in a straight line like this, you see. So you get already the underside of the side, and again we are going to get for 1 block over here, and we lay it down, and on this side also 1, and very easy, just lay them on here, and this one on here. So you get a nice, oh, he's already walking away. He doesn't want to be here. And I'm going to do this one over here, and now I'm going to lay this one aside. I'm going to need, oh, you see this one is totally going his own way here, and I need 1 drop over here. And again we're going to place them together this way, very easy, and I'm going to press it together. And before I go to build further, I'm going to wipe away the glue we don't need. So I wiped away most of the glue. We are going to go further with, again, 1 on the top over here, and we're going to do 1 on the other side also over here, and we're going to do the same way like we did with the underside, and I'm not going to glue it yet. And this one also over here. So again, place this one against here in the straight line, this one over here, and I need to go a little sideways. I'm going to go for this one over here and this one over here. So, and again we lay this aside, and we can measure out very easily again where we need a drop of glue. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 over here. And again we are going to place it down, and we are going to make sure that we get a nice straight line. Of course we need to work with it a little, but like I said, with wood glue you can readjust a lot of your blocks. So this is already 1 side of our lantern. So now we made the first panel. We are going to do now the second one. We are going to start with, again, 2 blocks like this, and we're going to place it. We are going to make again 4 of them, the same like we did with the first one, but then we will change it up a little because we do 2 pieces the same, and not all the pieces are the same. So we want to give it a little bit of a unique look. And again, this is 1, squeeze it, and this will be, of course, number 2, and like this. And we're going to do the last, because we need 2 of 4, 4 pieces of 2. That's better, of course. Wipe away the glue you don't need, and always make sure that your surface is as clean as you can get it. So again, just let it on the side, and again, place it on the side. If you can, very lightly get it off your table. Don't move it too much, just very lightly get it up and place it over here like this. And then you can clean up your surface again like this. And what we're going to do now, we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. All 4 of them are dried in already. I'm going to get one of them. I'm going to get my blocks. I'm going to get, of course, 6 pieces and another one like this. And we are going to go glue some glue on the side, because we're going to glue them first together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. And like this, we roll them together this way, and we make a nice straight line and squeeze them. And you see, make a straight line like this. And we're going to get our towel, and we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. Just be careful, just don't make it too wet. And this way. And what we're going to do, of course, we have to get it on the side, because you see already our surface is totally with some with our glue. So I have to wipe it away and like this. And now we're going to place it down, and we're going to do it this side, and we also clean up this side, so our lens will be very nice when we want to paint it. So this is already 1. I have to readjust it a little like this. And now we're going to do some glue on the one of the 2 pieces, and here's already 1, and I'm going to place it against here, very easy this way. And I'm going to do the second one, and we also do some glue on this line, and we're going to lay it down and again place it on top of here. So this is already one of the under part of our, one of the side of our line, and we're going to go get some glue away. And I'm going to get now, of course, some sides. This is 1 over here, and I'm going to glue this on here, and 1 over here. And we have to squeeze a little, and a little over here. And now we're going to get one of the 2, and we are going to do some glue over here and a little over here. And we're going to lay it down and place it on top of each other like this. And get my towel again. Clean it up a little like this, and you also can use a brush for it. I like to have a towel, but you can use a brush, of course. I'm going to go now again for 6 blocks in a row, 3, 4 and 6 we already have. And again we are going to go for 1 and number 2, number 3 and number 4, and a number 5. And we are going to row them together again like this. Squeeze them in and make sure that you have a nice straight line, as straight as you can have it. I'm going to go and remove the glue and of course squeeze it in again. And you see already I need to work with it, and you see already also my pieces are not the same size, all of them. Now I'm going to try to get it on here, and you see I have to clean this up or else he will be stuck on my on my mat. But if you are doing it very lightly, you can easily glue your parts together. So I'm going to do now on the top, I'm going to do some glue, and this way over here I'm going to turn it over like this because I want to have this side on top, and we're going to place it over here. And now we only need to close it up with our last piece of 2. So 2 sides are getting an open structure and 2 sides are getting a little bit more of a closed structure again. And we're going to close it up with this one. And we only need to clean it up and let it dry. And you see already you can do many things with only wood glue. You just have to be a little bit more patient with than with your glue gun. So I let this dry also. I'm going to make the other 2 sides a little faster because or else you will get very bored. And you see all 4 pieces of our lantern are finished. What I'm going to do, of course they dried already quite a while, but not totally 24 hours. Most of the time if my lantern is totally finished, I always let it dry for 24 hours. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to place it together. I'm going to make sure that this kind of panels are for me for the sides, and this 2 will be for the front. So I'm going to place this one down like this. Of course I have to give it some space. I'm going to glue this one on top of here. I'm going to glue this one on top of here, and I close it up with this one. So I have to do some glue on here. I'm just going to make a nice line like this, just over here, and I'm going to place this one on top, and I have to be sure that I have it in a straight line. So I have to feel with my fingers that the line is straight, and then I'm going to keep it in place for a little moment, but I won't bore you with that, so I will do this out of camera. He is standing up straight. I have 1 tube of my paint on the inside because he wants to fall down before I can do this part on. So I'm going to do also on the other side, I'm going to do the same, just a line with glue on the ending over here, and I'm just going to place this one also inside over here and make sure that he stays in place again with this kind of tube with my paint, so he can't fall down and I can get a nice straight line. And what I'm going to, I just let this dry in for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to do some glue on this side, and lay the top above, but you see that in a moment. I'm already doing some glue on the sides, so I'm just doing in the middle. I'm starting above and I'm going to go over it, and like this. I have to be sure that I am careful and I don't see nothing anymore. You see, I have to do it over here. I have to use enough glue because I don't want that my lantern is falling apart. And I'm going to do on this side the same. Over here. Over here. I'm going to go over, and on this side the same. And now I'm going to get my top part, and I'm going to get my tube of my paint away, and I hope everything will stand up right. And I'm going to place this one on top of here like this. And now we have to be sure that we have it on the same height and the same place, just like this. We're going to go a little outside, and you just have to feel with your fingers and just keep it in place and let this dry in for a couple of minutes again. And this is again DIY behind the scenes. You see already I give it some heaviness just to glue everything right together. I'm going to place this aside, and then we're going to go further with the top of our lantern. For the top of our lantern, we are going to make the same panel first like we did with the bottom. So we're going to do 7 blocks, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again, of course, we're going to do 7 again. This is already 3, 6, and 7. So again, we are going to glue them the same way like we did with the bottom. Very easy. Just go ahead and just make nice little lines. And this is number 2, number 3, and number 4, number 5, and number 6. And again, we're going to place them together and this way. And the last one, we're going to close it up and make a straight line, squeeze a little, and again a new straight line, and squeeze it again like I do here. You see, it's very easy to make. Again, squeeze it, press it down, and this is already number 1. We're going to do the second one the same, and this is 1, and this is 2, number 3, and number 4, and 5, and 6. And again, we're going to row them together. At least I say all to row them together. I have really no idea if there's a correct English word or not, but you know what I mean. Here in the Netherlands, we rijgen het aan elkaar. So that's a little more of the Dutch. And you see a nice straight line again. And squeeze it again. And again like this. And now we're going to get away with the extra glue. So it is dried in a little for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go again, make a nice line like this over here. At least do some glue on each block. So, and then we're going to lay it down again, and we're going to squeeze it together and this way. And now we wait until this one is also dried up, and we're going to lay it beside. And now this one is drying. We're going to take 4 blocks, and again 4 blocks like this, and we're going to make a same little plaque again. Of course, I try to get my glue over this way so I don't use too much. Sometimes I'm always someone who uses a little too much glue. Sometimes I really don't understand how people do this always so neat. Of course, this one is already over here, and this one, and this one. So you only need to glue 3 blocks and close it up with number 4. And this is number 4. We're closing it in, make a straight line again, and we squeeze it. And we're going to do on this side the same and close it up with number 4. I'm going to wipe away a little of the glue. Maybe you don't need to use so much your kitchen towel because you are working neater than I do. But I have always one big mess on my table. So this is already number 2 of 4. And I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to glue also these 2 together. Both pieces of 4 are dried in a little. I'm going to place it aside, and again do some glue in the middle, and on each block we do some glue. Place it down again, and we're going to squeeze also these 2 together and try to get a nice straight line. And we're going to let this dry also, because we are going to, when both of them are dried in, we're going to use some stands and we're going to place them aside. In the meantime, while our top piece of our top and the other top piece are drying, we're going to get 4 blocks. And what we're going to do, we're going to place them this way and we are going to glue them like this. So very easy. You take just the 2 blocks and you do on each side, you do some glue. So one on this side and one on this side. And we're going to do here the same, one on this side and one on this side. Place it down and we're going to go in with the blocks and we make a nice, it's not totally a square. Here in the Netherlands we call it een rechthoek, een rechthoek. So it's much different than you say it, but we're going to squeeze it and make sure that it stays in a straight line. And we're going to let this dry in also. So our little part is dried in. We are going to make sure that he is a little bit down because I think this block is a little bit bigger. You see already. Maybe I can show it to you this way. You see, this block is a little higher than the other one. So I'm going to hope that everything will glue together. At least I do my best. So I'm going to do some glue over here and around and over here. And I'm going to turn it over and place it on here. I think like this. I have to be sure that I have the same measurement. And I'm going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes again. And you see, maybe I can show it to you a little closer. This is how it's looking like right now. Also, our middle piece is dried in. I'm going to do now some glue on this part. And again, I'm going to make the line and I'm going to do the line a little bit on the inside of our middle piece. And now I'm only get this one and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to place it over here. But of course, I have to look that I have it all the same place that I want to have it. I think a little bit like this. You have to look for yourself to find the right place. Of course, like this. And I'm going to squeeze it down and I'm going to get my paint can and I'm going to place it up here. In the meantime, the top is drying. We are going to get our bottom and we are going to glue it on top of our lantern. Of course, we're going to place it like this. So I'm going to do some glue on the underside and I'm going to glue it together. So I'm going to turn it over like this and I'm going to glue the top. Very easy, just do some glue over here and around the corners and the middle and over here and just go this way. And we're going to turn it over again and be placing it on our bottom. And like this. And we make a nice straight line, as straight as we can have it at least. We do our best. And like this. And now we're going to let this dry also. Maybe you can give it some pressure on top of here. So I placed you a little bit closer and you see already the paint can is still on top of our lantern. You see, I have 4 of the openings, and what my idea was for the openings, because I specially left it open, I have some wooden pieces, and you can do it for any season. I have, of course, some fall, and then you can do it with a pin. You can place it inside, so you can make a change for every season. You just can go over it and make some farmhouse for more daily decor. You can do a little bunny for the Easter decor. You can go all the way. I think I'm going for the star, this one, or maybe I'm going to go for the reindeer. So like this, I still debating what I will do. I'm going to do them in the black color. I think I'm going to use some marker and make it black, but you can paint it in any color you like. So I think, you see, then that's why here seasonal, you just do a pin inside and you can decorate it for any season you want. I'm going to get my marker and I'm going to make it, like I said, in the black color. But of course, normally your star will be in a goldy way color, yellow gold color. but I'm going to want to give it a little bit more fitting for my decor. But like I say, go ahead and make it the way you like. Just take the color which fitting for your decor. So I'm going to go for the black, and I'm going to do both of the sides of the star, also the back side, because you can see through it, and then you won't see the back side won't have a nice side. So we do both of the sides. And so you can change it up any way you like. You have endless idea, and this kind of wooden pieces you find anywhere in any store. So go ahead and make them unique and make them for your own decor. So my lantern is almost finished. What I did forget to tell you, we also need a bead, and I'm going to use one of the thicker one, and I'm going to paint this one also. So if you have a bead or maybe a styrofoam ball, it doesn't matter. Of course, you can make a hole in that one, and I'm going to use this wooden bead, and of course I'm going to paint this one also in the same color like our lantern. Our lantern and of course our bead is already dried up. What I did, I was just playing around with my little piece of ribbon, and I've just used a piece of velvet ribbon, but you can do maybe some twine, something else, it doesn't matter. I was with my stylus trying to get it in, and it was very easy to get it in. So I already have my ribbon inside. I'm going to cut it off and make a nice loop at the ending. I think I'm going to go for this now, a little bit longer, like this, and I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to give it a knot on top. So very easy, just, of course I have to go it inside the velvet on the outside. At least I like the velvet on the outside, so this way, and I'm going to make a knot on top. Very easy. I'm not going to do it very difficult, so like this. And now I'm going to glue my little bead. It's a little bit more like a big bead. I'm going to glue it with some wood glue in the middle of my roof of my little lantern. So I take a little drop of my wood glue. I'm going to place it in the middle, just over here. That's more than enough. And I'm going to place my bead inside, and I try to get it at least like this way, and I'm going to keep it in place for a little moment until he sets in, so he doesn't fall off anymore. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes. In the meantime, while our little bead is drying on top, we are going to get our stars. And I'm going to get some, here in the Netherlands we call it a punaise. So I'm going to get one of them. And you see already, this is how they are looking like. Oh, I hope you can see them. Maybe this one is better. And I'm going to place it through the little hole over here. And I'm going to hang it in the middle. Of course, I have to look for I show it to you, I will place it in, and then I show you exactly the middle. I have to find the middle first, and I'm going to squeeze it in. And now I hope my blocks will work with me, and I can, you see, this is how they are looking like. And I hope you can see it if I turn it this way. So I'm going to do all 4 sides. So the peat is not dried up yet, almost. I'm going to get some greenery because I'm going to finish the top off with some greenery and some nice dark and lighter red berries and some greenery branches like this. I always pick a couple of them. So I'm going to get 3 pieces of the same length like this. And I have here another one. And I have now 3, and what I always do, I always cut out the plastic endings. A lot of you who are already here for a long time know already that I don't like the plastic endings. So I'm going to place them beside and cut off a little piece of the branch. And of course on this one the same, and I'm going to use 3 and not 4. And I'm going to place one this side, one this side, and one on this side. And then I'm going to do some berries on top. So I placed you a little bit closer, and you see already if I do this branch over this way, you still see little pieces of the branch like this, the plastic endings. And I don't really like that. So what I'm going to do, I know I am just a strange lady. So I'm so sorry. But I'm going to cut it off, cut off the ending of the plastic. And I'm going to do on this side and on this side. And now I'm going to glue first, lay this one over here, and I'm going to do some glue on the back side, and I'm going to squeeze it in and make sure that it sticks in place. I'm taking one of the smaller ones, and again only on the ending a little drop of the glue, and I'm going to place it and squeeze it in over here and this way. And wait until it is dried up, and now I'm taking the smaller one and again just at the ending some glue, and I'm going to squeeze also inside. I have to do it a little better this way, and I think I'm going to do it only on 2 sides because then or else it will be too much. So I'm going to go over to this side, and we can take another branch. You see I have a bigger one, I have a smaller one, and a middle one. And you see already, if you see it closely, I hope you can see it, it's just so much plastic and I don't like it. And if you cut it off, it looks so more real, and I like that it is more real even when it is only plastic. And you see, if you just use this kind of branches, they are very cheap branches, but you can give them a high-end look if you only just move away the plastic endings. It will be so much more looking. And of course again, squeeze it and make sure that it stays in place. I'm going to go, the middle one is over here. This one I'm going to do over here because we're going to just do the other side, and we're going to squeeze it in on this side. Make sure that you squeeze it inside of the bead. And now only the smaller one, and again on the back side, just at the ending, only a little glue, and we're going to squeeze it in this side. And I think it looks already very Christmassy, and it looks very more high-end than you leave the plastic on top. I'm going to get some piece of this branch, one, and I'm going to get, if I have another one in the same, just with this will be this one. So and now I have both of them, at least the same. You see, now we have 2 of the same pieces of branch, and I'm going to do at the ending over here a little glue, and I'm just going to squeeze it under here. So just do some glue at the ending, a little bit around the stem, and just squeeze it in like this and let it lay down on here. This is one. And this berry is going this way, so we're going to try to do the other berry the other way. He is going this way, I have to do it this way. I'm going to do again on the ending, just a little glue. And then we are going to squeeze it in inside until the bead. And like this. And I let it dry for a little moment. And now I have to get my finger away. Or else I'm stuck at our day. And you see, I am really loving this. It's very easy, simple, and everyone can make it. But if you want to go all the way, it's also fine too. But for me, he is finished right now with our little stars on our, of course, on our lantern. I'm going to show you now in a moment a quick impression how he's turned out.